Hey guys, how you doing? What's up? I'm Jules. Thank you for coming back for another weekly update of my cross-stitching stuff. It is, what is it? Middle of September. How did it get to be middle of September? And oh, how about you guys? I can't wait for the week to be over, or the month to be over, or the year to be over, for that matter. So yeah, we're just kind of doing our thing. I have focused mostly on a couple different things this week. I have really I've stitched a little bit on 3 different projects. I'm going to show you those here. First up, we're going to talk about stitching on some Boba Fett. And I really need to get more stitching done, but I stitched a bit more on his arm. It's not terribly noticeable, and I think I got a little bit more done on his hand down here. But that's where we're at right now with the bobes. Just kind of nitpicking, just finishing up a little bit here, a little bit there. The question still remains, is this going to look like anything? Speaking of Sassy Mandalorian, did you guys see that Season 2 trailer for Mandalorian Season 2? I hope so. I hope so. Looks like my head is like dented right here. It's probably just the way I'm sitting. Or it's probably dented. It's probably my hair. Oh well, whatever. Now, I'm going to show you this, although I didn't really get very far on it, but I kind of jumped ahead on Rainy Waterloo Place because I was waiting for this one color to come in, and of course, the day that I decided to jump ahead and start stitching, the color comes in. So I need to move this back down to where it was. There's a lot of light here right now, but move this back down to where it was so I can get that page finished. We're going to do that, and really the big progress this week has been on my own pattern, the Raising the Flag, that I decided to go ahead and start and do because I just loved it so much, and I'm working on it, and I'm really excited about it because I love stitching on these monochromatic pieces. I love this style of stitching. It's kind of where I started in a lot of ways, but to be working on it now, I'm just really happy. So I think I got another couple thousand stitches at least done this week. I'm about 30% of the way through the piece, and I think you're going to be able to see definitely more than you did before. So here it is. Whoops, let's actually let the flag be shown. So here it is. I think you guys can totally see that it's coming in. So the 3 guys right there, and then I'm moving over to this section right here, which is going to be the guy who's actually working on getting the bottom of the pole into the rocks. But that's kind of where I'm working on it right now. So there's floss everywhere on the back side of this thing because pieces of floss are just flying everywhere. Ooh, it looks good on the back side too. But anyway, so I'm really happy with how it's turning out, what it's looking like. This is what I was imagining when I started working on designing these pieces. And and then speaking of which, so that's my progress so far for stitching wise. Now I did order a cone of 310 so that I can finish this up, as well as stitch more of these pieces because I really want to stitch them myself. On top of, I am having some people that have volunteered to be stitching modelers who are stitching my stuff, but I need to send some more things out. I've got a few more designs since my last video that are up. There's a wolf, there's a squirrel, and then the one that I just most recently finished is penguins. So this is, I call this one Penguin Party. And if you zoom in, basically again, all this is if you use white fabric, you're just stitching the black. So that's all you're stitching right there. So the most common comment or question that I had people saying is, where are you getting your pictures? You got to be careful where you're getting your pictures. And I know that. I understand that. Trust me. I've been in this field for a long time, and I understand copyright concerns and things like that. And where am I getting my stuff from? I'm getting them from Creative Commons and public domain. So, which is pretty much the same thing. And so they're free photos that anybody can use for any purposes whatsoever. So that's where I'm getting these from. So no need for you to worry about stitching on something that's you're not supposed to be stitching on. I am doing things the right way, and I have sufficient oversight from other people that are making sure that I'm doing things the right way. So don't you worry about it. Everything's fine. But I'm really pleased with this Penguin Party one. I contemplated splitting off like this one guy, you know, like splitting them off and just doing different things. But to be perfectly honest with you, like I just thought it was just so flippin' cute to have all 5 of them standing there. So this is definitely one that I want to do too. So this is 290 by 210. Obviously, you're not stitching the entire piece. It's even inside the penguins, that white, you're not stitching it. If you use white Aida, it's just you're letting the white Aida come through, and you're just stitching the black. So I'm super happy with those things, and I think as time goes by and more of this is getting stitched, and people who are purchasing the patterns are getting them stitched, they're going to be able to show you guys that they are stitching the way that they look, and especially with me stitching on this. I wanted to stitch this because I've always wanted to stitch this photo, and I've never been able to find it as a cross stitch any place where I wanted to work on it. So, and I didn't, right now I'm not trying to do full coverage. I could do full coverage all day long, but a lot of people are doing full coverage, and for me, it's funny because I love stitching. I love stitching full coverage, obviously, but I want people to be able to stitch things that are beautiful, that don't take forever to finish. And I'm focusing on just specific subjects that I like to look at. So, I don't know. That's just me. And I'll branch out to other things as time goes by. I've been doing this for less than a month, so it's a work in progress. So I thank you guys for the positive comments and for the encouragement and for the orders. That's been fantastic, and I'm just really excited to keep going with it. I gotta tell you, I was so excited when the penguin one came out the way that it did. Super happy about it. But I still need to stitch on my other stuff, and I've been stitching a ton on this every day. Well, not every day, but most days I've been stitching a ton. I just enjoy it, and I'm getting a lot of progress to the point where it's really looking amazing. So, but I also don't want to ignore the things that I have. So, is that it? Is that it for me? Let's see. I told you about the Kona DMC coming. I got some more floss. Oh, and I totally forgot to mention, these patterns also work with Pattern Keeper. So I'm actually using this one right now. I'm stitching it with Pattern Keeper, and it's coming out great. When it asks you, it'll ask you a couple of questions, especially on these black and whites. It'll ask you a couple of questions, you know, like, is this area shaded? Is this area this and that? The answers to your questions are no, and then you just import the pattern, and super duper easy on digital. It's really, really, really easy. And so yeah, I'm stitching on this with Pattern Keeper, and I've had a few other patterns that people have been saying, yep, they're working on them on Pattern Keeper, and they're really happy about it. So, yeah, that's it. I'm tired, dudes. I worked very long days, Monday and Tuesday, and then today was very busy. So you guys know about how we aren't moving anytime soon here, but we are going to get some stuff done on the house. That being said, doesn't mean we can't look. And yesterday we found this house we're not moving, but one of the places that we keep looking at is Montana, just for fun. And there was this house in Montana that had, like, it had a house. It's just a basic house. And then it had like a garage / stable / work area. And the upstairs level, and it wasn't very large. It was probably less than the upstairs. Well, no, it's probably the same level as the upstairs of our house right now. It had like a couple of different rooms, and then it had a room that opened out, like there was this beautiful view. But anyway, my husband was like, okay, that could be your actual stitching room, and then this is your video room, and then this is your... He had it all planned out for me, but I was like, oh man, that was gorgeous. And the views were, I was going to say ridiculous, but that's just totally not a word. And, but oh my gosh, that was amazing. But it would be nice to eventually have an area where it's totally separate, where all my stitchy stuff could be away from the rest of the main house, the gang. So anyway, that was just really cool. I don't know why I told you guys that, but not that we're not going. That was nuts, but it was so beautiful. Anyway, yeah, I needs to stitch. I needs to stitch, and I needs to work on the blog, and I need to work on the Z designs. And so, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming back yet again. And let me know if there's anything else you guys see that you suggest. You know, maybe you like want to do some stitching on some other patterns. I'm not making a lot of sense today. I am definitely very tired this week, so I apologize for being a little bit more but anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys in the stream Thursday morning and on Twitch. And let me know if you guys have any more questions. I'll talk to you later.